Welcome back to the channel. In the previous episode, we all breathed a sigh of relief when Tone walked out of the emergency room, safe and sound. Although the heat stroke and fainting spell didn't leave any lasting brain damage, it was a strict warning from his body. Toan needs to rest. Today, the hospital gates open, but not for Tone to return to the fields immediately. He is forced to temporarily leave his elderly benefactor and the unfinished garden to recover at the wooden cabin on the hill. This temporary parting is filled with mixed emotions. A lonely old woman staying down in the valley. A young couple moving up to the highlands. The physical distance isn't far, but the worry they feel for each other is immense. And will the appearance of Thu, their generous friend, bring total peace of mind? Or will his wealth accidentally attract unwanted staring eyes? Let's slow down a bit to feel the lingering emotions in Tone's journey home right now. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe to share these heartwarming moments with us. It was a sunny noon at the district hospital gate. Toan was sitting in a wheelchair at the doctor's strict insistence while DM stood by holding a bag of medicine and the discharge papers. Even though the doctor said he was fine, Toan's face was still a bit pale. He looked out at the street, squinting against the sunlight. Beep beep. A car horn sounded proudly. A glossy, rugged black pickup truck screeched to a halt right in front of the lobby. The window rolled down, revealing the smiling face of Thu, their close friend, the one who had lent them the wooden cabin. Hey, my favorite farmer. Hop in the Tycoon is here to take you to your palace. DM smiled and waved at Thu. His arrival couldn't have been more timely. With Tone's current health, riding a motorbike or walking back up the hill was impossible. Thu jumped out of the truck, running over briskly to help Tone stand up. Geez, you've been a farmer for what, a few days, and you're already trying to retire early. You scared the hell out of me, man. Toan gave a weak smile, patting his friend's shoulder. I just got a bit too carried away with work. Thanks for taking your precious time to come pick us up. We're friends, no need for formalities. Get in, I've got the AC blasting. The truck rolled away, leaving the smell of antiseptic behind. Inside, Thu drove smoothly. He glanced at the rearview mirror, seeing Tone resting his head on DM's shoulder, looking tired but peaceful. What did the doctor say? Thu asked. The doctor said he needs absolute rest for at least a week, DM answered for her husband. No heavy lifting, no overthinking. Thu nodded. That makes sense. Going back to the cabin on the hill is the right move. The air up there is fresh and quiet, perfect for recovery. It's too noisy and dusty down here to get healthy. Toan suddenly opened his eyes, his voice raspy. Thu, could you please stop by Grandma's house for a bit? Thu was surprised. What for? You're weak. You should go straight home to rest. I can't, Toan insisted. I still have some clothes and stuff left there. Besides, I want to tell her a few things. I haven't seen her since I was hospitalized yesterday. I'm not at ease. Thu sighed, shaking his head with a wry smile. You are really something. You can barely take care of yourself, yet you're worrying about others. Fine, have it your way. But only 15 minutes. The pickup truck veered off, turning onto the bumpy dirt road leading to the old woman's house. The truck stopped in front of the familiar bamboo gate. The sound of the car engine was smooth, but still enough to disturb the silence of the place. The old woman was sitting on the porch, picking vegetables. Seeing the strange car park, she looked confused. But when she saw DM helping Tone step out, She threw the basket of vegetables aside and ran out, stumbling in her haste. "Mr. Toe and Miss Deem, you're back." She ran over, patting Tone's arms and legs, as if checking to make sure he was still in one piece. Her eyes were red and had dark circles from staying up all night worrying about him. "I'm back, Grandma. I'm fine." Tone took her thin, withered hand, trying to smile his brightest smile to reassure her. Come inside quickly, before the sun gets you," the old woman urged. The thatched house felt incredibly quiet today. The kitchen was cold. No fire had been lit. Perhaps since Tone went to the hospital, she hadn't bothered cooking for herself. Seeing that, Tone felt a sting in his nose. "Grandma, I'm heading back to the cabin on the hill today. I just came to grab my work clothes and the tool bag I forgot the other day," Tone said. The old woman nodded rapidly. Yes, take them. Go back up there and rest. It's too hot, cramped, and full of mosquitoes down here. It's no place for a sick person." Diem went inside to pack their things. Thu stood out in the yard, admiring the garden, tactfully giving the grandmother and grandson some private space to talk. Toan sat down on the bamboo bed, looking at the old woman closely. It had only been a day, but she looked so much more haggard. "Grandma," Toan lowered his voice. "The doctor ordered me to rest, so I probably won't be able to come down and help you with the garden for the next few days. Please don't do any heavy work while I'm gone. Let the grass grow, let the vegetables get old. Just take care of your health." Hearing Tone's instructions, the old woman chuckled toothlessly, but tears welled up in her eyes. "Oh, you silly boy. This old body could go any day now. What's there to keep? I'm only worried about you. You're young and strong, yet you suddenly collapsed like that. It scared me to death. Go back up there, eat well, and get your strength back. Stop being a workaholic." Toan looked out at the yard, where the strange marked cigarette butts had been found the day before. He lowered his voice further, his eyes becoming serious. "Grandma, remember what I told you. At night, you have to lock the gate and bolt the door carefully. Don't open it for strangers. If anyone suspicious lurks around, run to the neighbor's house or call me immediately." The old woman nodded, but her eyes avoided his. She knew Tone was worried about the stalkers, but she didn't want him burdened with that right now. "Oh, stop worrying. I'm poor as dirt. If a thief comes in, he'd probably feel sorry and leave money. You worry about yourself. It's cold and windy up on that hill. Make sure you cover up well at night." Her concern was that of a mother for her child. She pushed aside her own fear to prioritize Tone's safety. She was terrified that if Tone stressed out, he would go into shock or suffer another headache. Diem walked out carrying the bag of clothes. "We're ready, honey. Let's go. Mr. Thu is waiting." Pen stood up, his heart heavy with every step. He felt like he was abandoning her on a lonely front line. "Grandma, remember to eat well. I'll come back down in a few days when I'm fully recovered." The old woman waved him off. "No, stay put. When I'm free, I'll grab a motorbike taxi to come visit. I'm still strong. Climbing hills is nothing." She only said that to be strong. Her arthritic knees made walking on flat ground difficult, let alone climbing a hill. She lied so Tone could leave with peace of mind. Tawan walked to the truck. Thu had the door open waiting. Before getting in, Tawan turned to look at the house one last time. The old woman stood leaning against the porch pillar, her small frame etched against the cracked earthen wall. The wind blew her silver hair. The image was heartbreakingly lonely. "Go inside, Grandma," DM called out from the car. The old woman nodded, waving. Go on, stay healthy." The pickup truck slowly rolled away. Through the rearview mirror, Tone could still see her standing there, watching the car until it disappeared behind the ivory bamboo thicket at the end of the lane. "Don't worry, buddy," Thu said while driving, breaking the somber silence. "She looks frail, but she's tough. Plus, the villagers here are united. If there's trouble, they alert each other instantly. You just focus on getting better." Toan sighed, leaning back into the seat. "I know, but I just feel guilty. She saved my life and now I'm leaving her alone." Thu smiled gently. "You're not abandoning her. You're resting so you can protect her better. Right now, you're weak as a kitten. If a thief comes and blows on you, you'd fly away. Who would you protect then?" Thu's joke made Tone chuckle. He was right. He had to get healthy. He had to regain his memory. Only then would he have the strength to shield Diem and the old woman from the dark forces hiding in the shadows. The truck climbed the slope, taking Tone back to the peaceful wooden cabin. But at the foot of the hill, at the thatched cottage, after Thursday's truck disappeared, the old woman slowly turned to go inside. She sighed, intending to close the bamboo gate. Suddenly, she spotted something in the dense bushes across the road. A black motorbike was parked there. The rider wore a helmet that covered his entire face and dark sunglasses. He was holding up a phone, seemingly having just taken a photo of Thu's license plate. The old woman shuddered. She slammed the gate shut and bolted it tight. Her heart pounded in her chest. She wasn't afraid for herself. She was afraid for Toan. They still haven't let him go. She muttered, her trembling hands lighting incense on the ancestral altar to pray. Toan had safely returned to his fortress on the hill to recover. But the appearance of Thu's luxury truck had unintentionally become a focal point. Why did the stranger take a photo of the license plate? Will they be able to track down Tone's new location through Thu? And the old woman left alone, carrying extreme fear, but hiding it to keep Tone calm. Can she hold out against the dangers lurking just outside that fragile bamboo gate? Will Tone's coming days of recovery truly be as peaceful as he hopes? While Thu took Tone to visit the old woman, Diem had taken a motorbike taxi back to the cabin ahead of them to prepare. The wooden cabin was bustling this afternoon. Diem no longer wore the anxious, panicked expression she had at the hospital. Instead, she embodied the busy, capable demeanor of a woman caring for her family. On the rustic wooden table in the center of the house, the freshest ingredients were laid out. Though money was tight after paying hospital fees, Diem had spent her last pennies along with vegetables and a chicken from the garden to make this meal. "I have to cook a really good meal today. Without Mr. Thu and his mother, my husband and I would probably still be sleeping under a bridge," Diem murmured, her hands deftly chopping onions and slicing meat. The main dish today was hill chicken steamed with lime leaves. It was a young hen, raised by Tone himself, with golden skin and firm meat. Diem carefully cleaned it, marinating it with a bit of salt, pepper, and thinly sliced lime leaves. Next was fried spring rolls, nem ran. This was Diem's signature dish. She meticulously rolled each one round and full stuffed with meat wood ear mushrooms and glass noodles, and she couldn't forget a bowl of bamboo, shoot, and rib soup. Fresh forest bamboo shoots Diem picked the other day, stewed with pork ribs bought at the early market. The broth was sweet and incredibly fragrant. The sound of chopping, the sizzling of oil, and the savory aromas filled a corner of the hill. As Diem cooked, she occasionally glanced out at the trail leading up to the house. She was eager for Tone to return, and also nervous to welcome Thu's mother. She heard Tone say that Thu's mother was the one who agreed to lend them this house without taking a penny of rent. She was a great benefactor whom DM hadn't yet had a chance to officially thank. Beep, beep! The familiar horn sounded. The black pickup slowly climbed the slope and parked in the front yard. DM quickly wiped her hands on her apron and ran out to greet them. The door opened. Thu stepped out briskly, walking around to open the passenger door for a middle-aged woman. It was Mrs. Thu's mother. She wore a luxurious but understated plum-colored silk outfit. Her face was kind, her eyes shining with intelligence and benevolence. Then Thu helped Tone out of the car. Although Tone was still a bit limping, but his complexion looked much brighter as he smelled the food his wife had cooked. "Hello, Mrs. Thuy. Hello, Brother Thu. Please come inside." DM bowed respectfully, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. Mrs. Thuy smiled, stepping forward to take DM's hand. "My goodness, what a capable daughter-in-law. I could smell the fried spring rolls from all the way down the hill. You've worked so hard, dear." Thu patted Tone on the shoulder. "See, buddy, I told you home is best. With a gentle wife and good food, you'll be running around like a squirrel in no time." Tuan smiled, looking at DM with gratitude. "My wife is number one after all." The group entered the wooden cabin. Though simple under DM's touch, everything was incredibly tidy and cozy. The yellow light shone down on the hearty feast, laid out steam rising invitingly. Everyone gathered around the meal. Thu and his mother sat in the seats of honor. Toan and DM sat opposite them. DM poured a cup of yellow flower sticky rice wine, a light wine she brewed herself for Mrs. Thuy and Thu. DM stood up holding the cup with both hands. Her voice choked with emotion. "Ma'am, Brother Thu, today my husband and I prepared this humble meal. Firstly, to celebrate Tone surviving this ordeal and returning safely. Secondly, I want to express our deepest gratitude to both of you on behalf of our family." DM looked at Mrs. Thuy, tears welling up. "When we were down on our luck, homeless and penniless, if it weren't for Brother Thu's help and your kindness in lending us this cabin for shelter, we would probably still be wandering the streets, unsure if we'd live or die. We will never forget this kindness for the rest of our lives. Please allow me to offer you a toast." Toan also tried to stand, despite his weak legs. He raised his cup. "My wife is right. Although I lost my memory and don't know who I was before I know who is good to me now." "Thank you, Mom," Toan addressed her affectionately, following Thu's lead, "and thank you, my best friend." Mrs. Thuy looked at the young couple, infinite compassion rising in her heart. She knew Tone used to be a powerful CEO who could summon wind and rain with money to burn. Now, here he stood, thanking her for a tiny shelter. Life truly was unpredictable. She accepted the wine, drank it in one go, then smiled gently. "Don't be so formal. I consider Thu my son, so I consider his friends like my own children. This house would be wasted sitting empty. I'm happy you two are here to keep it warm and lived in. I just hope Mr. Toan recovers quickly, and you, Miss DM, stay strong so you can overcome this difficult time together." Thu laughed heartily, placing a spring roll into Tone's bowl. "All right, cut the speeches, buddy. Eat your wife's spring rolls are out of this world. Eat to get strong so you can repay the favor I don't want empty words. Thu's joke made everyone at the table burst out laughing, dispelling the solemnity and replacing it with a close-knit family atmosphere. The meal continued lively. They ate while reminiscing about old times and discussing the future. Mrs. Twee picked up a piece of steamed chicken, praising it profusely. "This chicken is firm, the skin is crispy. You're very skilled, dear." Diem blushed. "Actually, Toan raised this chicken. He takes care of the chickens better than he takes care of his wife." Toan retorted, "That's unfair. I take care of the chickens, so they lay eggs for you to eat." Amidst the laughter, Mrs. Twee occasionally stole glances at Toan. She was experienced and had been close to Toan's family before, though Toan didn't remember. She noticed that in Toan's eyes, despite the innocence of memory loss, there were occasional flashes of sharpness and deep thought belonging to a mature man. Especially when Toan looked out the window where night was falling. "Toan," Mrs. Twee suddenly asked, "what did the doctor say about your fainting spell yesterday? Did you remember anything?" Her question dampened the mood slightly. Toan put down his rice bowl, hesitating. "Well, the doctor said I'm fine. As for remembering, I only saw blurry images, fire, and gunshots." Thu quickly cut in. "Mom, please don't ask headache-inducing questions while we're eating. Let him relax." Thu was afraid Toan would get agitated again, but Mrs. Twee was different. She wanted to probe whether Toan's memory was actually returning, because she knew many people were waiting for or fearing that very thing. "Right. I won't ask anymore. Eat, son. Try this bamboo shoot soup back in the day." Never mind. It's very delicious." Mrs. Twee almost slipped and said, "Back in the day, you loved this." When the meal ended, they had dessert with crisp, sweet guavas from the garden. Mrs. Twee signaled to Thu. Understanding the cue, Thu ran to the car and brought in a cardboard box. "This is a small gift my mother prepared for you two." Thu placed it on the table. Diem opened it. Inside were some of the best brain tonic supplements, ginseng soaked in honey, and an envelope of money. Diem hurriedly pushed the envelope back. "Oh no, ma'am. We accept the medicine for Toan, but we absolutely cannot take the money. Lending us the house is already too much." Toan also shook his head. "That's right, Mom. I can still work. I can earn money myself. Taking your money makes me feel ashamed." Mrs. Twee put on a stern face, pretending to be angry. "Who said I'm giving it to you? This is a loan. Understand, an interest-free loan. Mr. Toan just recovered and can't do heavy work yet. Ms. Diem has to worry about medicine. Take this capital, buy some more breeding chickens, buy fertilizer to improve the garden. Pay me back when you make a profit. No arguing." Mrs. Twee's firmness and generosity left Toan and Diem unable to refuse. They held the envelope with tears in their eyes. This wasn't just money, it was a lifeline, a symbol of the trust she had placed in them. Toan gripped the envelope tightly, looking straight into Mrs. Twee and Thu's eyes. "I accept it, and I swear before this lamp, I will recover, and I will work 5-10 times harder. I will turn this barren hill into the most prosperous farm in the region. I won't let your and Thu's kindness be misplaced." It was the promise of a man who, despite losing his past, still had self-respect and a burning will to rise flowing through his veins. The clock struck 9:00 p.m. Thu and Mrs. Twee got up to leave. Diem and Toan walked them to the car. "Remember, if anything happens, call Thursday. Don't suffer alone." Mrs. Twee called out before the window rolled up. The pickup truck gradually disappeared behind the slope, leaving the young couple alone amidst the silence of the mountain night. They went back inside. The party was over, but the warmth lingered. DM cleaned up the dishes, humming softly in happiness. She felt so lighthearted today. Tuan sat on the porch, looking down at the pitch-black valley below. Suddenly, the smile on his lips vanished. A slight headache flashed by, and in the darkness, far away where the trail led up to the house, Tuan saw a small dot of light. Not a firefly. It was a flashlight. It flashed once, then vanished instantly, as if the person holding it realized they were exposed. Tuan narrowed his eyes. The instinct of a hunted beast told him this warm meal was just the calm before the storm. Those people, had they tracked him all the way up here? He turned to look at DM, who was happily washing dishes in the kitchen. He decided not to tell her. Tonight, let her sleep soundly. As for him, tonight he would stand guard. Dear friends, the thank you dinner ended perfectly in love and sharing. The generosity of Thu and his mother has given Tone and DM immense strength, but whose mysterious flashlight was that at the end of the road? Did the stranger who watched the old woman earlier track Thu's car to find Tone's new location? The wooden cabin on the high hill, thought to be a safe haven, has now become an open target in the night. What will Tone do to protect this fragile nest with a body that is just barely recovered? Leave a comment saying, "Be careful, Tuan," to warn our hero. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe immediately. The next episode, Sleepless Night on the Howling Hill and the First Confrontation, will keep your eyes glued to the screen. Goodbye, and see you next time.